We've got some Christians here.
All right, Shalom. Call Haloyumla, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha, Kwadash. And double honors to the beloved apostles and elders of Great Millstone, better known as GMS, who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect, the tabernacle of David, starting with the 144,000 and the rest of the men, women, and children out of the 12 tribes whom Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai will ultimately have mercy upon. I'm your brother Matizabath, residing from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Melbourne, Australia. And just a quick PSA announcement, all right, to the Akim. I stumbled across this video and I sent it to the beloved elder, Salakia, not elder, but the beloved brother who's the head over me here in Australia from GMS down under Australia, Brother Yashar. Because two things. One, this is the first that I've seen this group, all right, here. And this was filmed in where I'm currently residing in, which is Melbourne, Victoria in Australia. And there's a lot of things that I'm going to get into in this video that's a little bit of a red flags. But before I get into it, I just want to bring this to everyone's attention. Now, when it comes to teaching, and the beloved elder Apostle Gabar asked this on one of his videos, how many camps was it out here in Australia? And by how many camps he was actually referring to, how many Great Millstone camps are there? All right. And so for everyone who doesn't know, all right, there's only two main Great Millstone camps here in Australia. All right. I'm going to say it again. There is only two main Great Millstone camps here in Australia. The first of them, all right, is GMS down under Australia, all right, which is Brother Yashar, which he is located in Brisbane, Australia, all right. That is the main camp. That is one of the main camps, the very first camp ever started up here in Australia, all right. The second camp is myself under Big Bro Yashar, okay, GMS Melbourne, all right. There's only two camps. Now that we have that out the way, this group that you see here, all right, they are under GOCC, and this is a first, all right. They are under GOCC, and Brother Yashar, if you're watching this, you can give your testimony, because I know me and you spoke about a GOCC member rocking up to your camp, all right. But nevertheless, getting right into it now, as you can see, all right, these individuals are out here dressed in all white, okay. They got their families in the background, which is a big red flag, because, understanding through the spirit, this is a spiritual battle that we're in. All right. And your women and children shouldn't be out there on the battlefield, man. OK. So now what caught me off guard was you're looking at them and you going, OK, but look, notice the sign. All right. Notice the sign. And right here where I paused it, they have the MOTB. OK. They have the MOTB. So when I first seen it, I said, okay, I thought that these guys were, woken up to the truth, because look, even though they are of a Polynesian background, they still can be a Jake at the end of the day, because remember, Israel is scattered amongst the heathen nations. Right. But this is what, kind of got my, alarm bells ringing. I said, wait a minute. OK, they got the sign. They know who, Satan is, the so-called white man. OK. They got the MOTB. They know that it's the RFID micro C hip. OK, which is great. All right. But then the red flag is, as you continue to watch the video, OK, you see, let's see if he all right. So right there, you see they got the shirts, no garments on, but they got the border of blue. Right. But no fringes. Right. And then, as I mentioned before, they got the women in the background. OK, now another thing I want to point out to the Akim. OK, because remember, notice where they're standing at. I'll leave it right here. This area that they're standing at preaching is called Flinders Street Station. All right. And that's one of the main stations down in the city, which is pretty much a hub where all the trains, no matter where you're located within the state of Victoria, all right, all the trains, when you want to go into the city, they lead you to that station right there. So this is like the hub for Melbourne. Now, one of the key things that a lot of brothers don't understand is this. Here in the state that I live in, Melbourne, Australia, the city, in order to preach here on Flinders Street station, you need what's called a special religious permit. OK, and it's not easy to inquire. I actually looked this up. Now, I shared with the brother Yashar on this because a second thing, which was a red flag to me, is if any of you brothers remember, there was another preacher, Christian preacher by the name of David Flynn. David Flynn came out here about a year or 2 years ago, both to Melbourne and Sydney. All right. And when he came to Melbourne, he did the exact thing, the exact same thing as these brothers did, preaching, microphone, whatever. The difference between these individuals and David Lynn actually got arrested. He got arrested on what's the street? I think Elizabeth Street. He was teaching on out here in Melbourne, Australia. He actually got arrested. That video, if I can find that video, I'll put it in the post-production in this lesson. So I started doing research on this group and found out that, you go right to it. Right there. So I zoomed in. OK. And I found out that they are a part of what's called Gathering of Christ Church, South Pacific. So when I looked it up, Gathering, all right, of the Church of South Pacific, I came to this right here. And this is of the GOCC. OK, it says the Gathering of Christ Church, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. Now, I didn't know that the leader of GOCC started a camp out here in Australia known as the Gathering of Christ Church. And it's called the Gathering of Christ Church, South Pacific. OK, now, the reason why they call it South Pacific is because when you go into their 12 tribes chart and you see it right here, let me zoom in. OK, I don't know if you can see it, but the YouTube logos is covering up, but it says Hawaiians, Samoans, Seminole Indians, which they believe are of the tribe of Naphtali. Right. So now I remember a couple of days ago, Elder Apostle Tahar did a lesson on IUIC because I also, consider this to be a red flag when I noticed that IUIC's website, when you go to it, they've also included the tribe of Naphtali, Pacific Islands. So what they're essentially saying is that the Polynesians, okay, are part of the 12 tribes of Israel, and that's incorrect. All right. And I'm bringing this out because there's a correlation with these camps changing. All right. The doctrine. Now, the first precept I want to get, because I know I've been talking, is Proverbs 24 and 21. It says, my son, fear thou the Lord Yahweh and the king, and meddle not with them that are given to change. All right. Because we understand Bishop Nate from IUIC, he changes doctrine like the moon changes phases. Right. And the leader of GOCC, that brother ain't been right for many years, man. He's been going off in his doctrine. Right. And so, something's going on to the point where they're changing up doctrine. Now they're starting to add in the heathen nations. And really, you should just come out and say that you want them to be you want the heathens to take part in salvation. And as you can see here, they also got Pacific Islanders. Right. And the same thing when you come on Gathering of Christ. All right. When you actually watch this video. All right. It goes into them breaking down the tribe of Naphtali. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, and I'm going to fast forward to the part where he breaks down the tribe of Naphtali. I'm going to just play a few seconds of it so you can see. Let me see here. Let me blow it up real quick. Because this is, this is crazy, man. All right, let's see here. All right, now watch this.
Okay, let's go to Genesis 49 and 21, and there's a mystery connected with this tribe too. And we're going to pull that out. All right. Some people have been teaching that Naphtali is Argentinian Chileans. Absolutely incorrect. We're going to teach the truth on that. Go to Genesis 49 and 21. Read that.
Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words.
He giveth goodly words. Naphtali is the modern day Hawaiians and Samoans. Yes. They're from the tribe of Naphtali. The goodly words they give is when you go on their land, and I know because we went there, I've been to Hawaii, the goodly words they give you is aloha. They greet everyone that come down with leis around their necks, similar to what you see on this picture right here. See that picture right here? The leis around their head and around their neck. They give goodly words. Now, they were taken down or being controlled by the Asians today. But they are also from the tribes of Israel, the aborigines of Hawaii and Samoa. We're going to show you the mystery.
And he's going off. He went off. Okay, the Pacific Islanders are not of the tribe of Naphtali. All right, and he gave the complete incorrect breakdown of Genesis chapter 49 and verse 21. And this is why the scripture says, all right, this is 1 John chapter 4 and 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. And he's a false prophet. All right. Drop it down. It says that verse 6, we are of the Most High, and he that knoweth the Most High heareth us, and he that is not of the Most High heareth not us. Hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. And that guy's in the spirit of error, as well as Bishop Nate. All right. They both in the spirit of error. Now, going back. So we got that right. Now, check this out. When you come back on IUIC's page, because something ain't right. Now, they also give this similar breakdown. Now, it says here, going into Naphtali, they give both Genesis 49:21 and also the blessing, Deuteronomy 33 and 33. It says, possess thou, I'll start here. It says, satisfied with favor and full of the blessing of Yahweh, meaning they will dwell of rich, beautiful islands. All right. Possess thou the west, the Pacific Ocean is west of South America. Right. It says, in the south, meaning the South Sea, aka Pacific Ocean. All right. And don't worry, I'm going to give the correct understanding of what actually Genesis 49 and 21 is going into. Now, they say IUIC, the Melanesian Islands are a sub-region of Oceania in the southwestern Pacific Ocean, and they are generally located to the west and south of the Pacific region. The Melanesian Islands include countries like Papua New Guinea, Fiji, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, and Caledonia. It says these islands are situated to the west of Pacific region, mainly in the southern part of Pacific Ocean. They are characterized by their diverse cultures, lush and landscapes, right? There's only one issue with that. All right. Why the Pacific Islanders and Papua New Guinea and the rest of them, all right, cannot be of the 12 tribes of Israel, because when you go to Second Esdras, all right, let's go to Second Esdras, the 13th chapter. What happened to the northern kingdom during the time of the Assyrian Empire, right? It says, we'll start here. 2nd Esdras 13 and 40 says, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hoshea the king, who Salmanasar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, in the same region as called Arsareth. All right. Now, let me look up something because I never actually done this. Let's see here. Is Arsareth. Well, let's do this. Let me see what the AI and Google says. Is America. I never actually looked this up, but let me see this. It says, in the book of Esdras, specifically the 4th book of Esdras, in an apocryphal text, Arsareth refers to a land beyond a great river where the 10 tribes of Israel are believed to dwell, observing the laws of Moses until the time of restoration. And some interpretations identify this land with America. You see that? Now, they ain't gonna give you the whole truth, but let's check this out. Arsareth by Morris Jastrow Jr., the name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing the laws of Moses until the time of restoration, according to 2nd Esdras, which in the the Catholic Church, their version reads 4th Esdras, right? Columbus identified America with this land, and that's how we know that the Northern Kingdom ended up in the Americas first. So that cuts all of you, Israelites out there that want to say that we can't be from Africa because we was already here first and we're the natives and stuff. Well, to a certain extent, yeah, you're natives to the land, but you wasn't, what's the word? What's the sense I'm looking for? You never governed the land the way that you think by stating that you've been there for a very long time, if that makes sense. OK, that's why we had to read 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter. But nevertheless, not to digress, let's get back on topic. So now we understand that when the scriptures tells us that, let's get another precept. Let's get Jeremiah chapter 3 and 18. All right, which says, in those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers. Because when you go back to 2nd Esdras 13, let's continue reading down, verse 46. Then dwelt they there until the latter time. So the northern kingdom dwelt there until the latter time. The latter time represents the last days that we're in now. They're still here today in America. It says, and now when they shall begin to come, the highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace. And here's the point. Verse 48, but those that be left behind of thy people. And what is this insinuating? This is speaking of the southern kingdom. They are the ones that was left behind, because it was the northern kingdom that left, but you had Judah, Benjamin, and Levi that stayed back, right? It says, but those that be left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders. So this is when the southern kingdom came over to Americas. And you can get that around 1619, 1620. OK, that happened during the time of your transatlantic slave trade. You see, so now this is why we say the bulk of the 12 tribes are in the Americas, because now let's go to Micah 4 and 10. and we bring this out all the time, just so you can understand. It says, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail, for now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. There Yahweh shall redeem thee from the hands of thy enemies. We wasn't redeemed in ancient Babylon. We went from being in captivity in Babylon, meaning the southern kingdom, okay, because the northern kingdom was already in the Americas during that time. Remember, they left during the Assyrian captivity. All right. That's how you know this is not talking about ancient Babylon. So it says that we shall be delivered, showing you that this Babylon is referencing Babylon the Great, which is America. OK. So when you understand that from that point, all right, this right here is suspect, man. OK, it's suspect. And they going off. Right now, going back on IUIC's head, man, because they ain't got it. Now, they mentioned in their website the Melanesian Islands. Now, check this out. We're going to show you something. When you look up Melanesian Islands, or just Melanesia in general, all right, let's go to Wikipedia. The term Melanesia actually goes back to melanin, which actually means islands of the blacks. All right. Now it says here Melanesia is a sub-region of Oceania in the southwestern Pacific Ocean, and it extends from New Guinea in the west to Fijian Islands. Right. It tells you the regions include the 4 independent countries of Fiji, Vanuatu, Solomon Islands, and Papua New Guinea, which is where Bishop Nate just recently came back from. Right now, I think he's in Kenya or whatever the case may be. But a few weeks ago, he was in Papua New Guinea. All right. Now, let me see here, because it was something. Yeah, I'll read this part. It says the name Melanesia, ancient Greek, Romanized Melis, literally means black in ancient Greek. It says, pardon me, etymologically means islands of black people in reference to dark skin of the inhabitants. That's why we always tell you that Japhet is not the so-called white man. All right. Japhet is your modern day Polynesians, which consist of your Samoans, your Fijians, Tongans. OK, all of the above, Hawaiians, in that order. All right. And we're going to show you more. OK. Yeah, that's it on that. And let me see. All right. Yeah, so that's it on that. Now, check this out. Let's get out of that. Now, if you type in Melanesia relation to Austronesians, I should say. It says Melanesia, a region in the Pacific, has a complex relationship with Austronesian peoples, with both Austronesian and Papuan speaking groups inhabiting the islands and interacting over time, resulting in a diverse mix of languages, cultures, and genetics. Why is this important? When we read down, when it says Austronesian influence, it says Austronesian peoples who are believed to have originated in Taiwan and spread eastward, reached parts of Melanesia, included Vanuatu, New Caledonia, and Fiji, and created Lapita culture, right? Now, when you deal with the Austronesian language groups, it says Melanesian languages are part of the Eastern or Oceanic branch of the Austronesian language family and are most closely related to the languages of Micronesia and Polynesian. Now, why is this important? Because now when you look up Austronesia, all right, let's go to this. It says the Austronesian peoples, sometimes referred to as Austronesian speaking peoples, are a large group of the peoples who have settled in Taiwan, Maritime, Southeast Asia, parts of mainland Southeast Asia, Micronesia, coastal New Guinea, island Melanesia, Polynesian, and Madagascar that speak the Austronesian languages. Now, when you look up maritime Southeast Asia, okay, it gives you the Southeast Asian countries, Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, and so forth, right? And then when you look up Polynesia, all right, and you go down, and let's see if they have it here. Let's see. Yep, islands of the Pacific. And just give me a second. Aha, here it is right here. It says the Polynesian people are considered by linguistic, archaeological, and human genetic evidence a subset of sea migrating Austronesian people. Tracing Polynesian languages places their prehistoric origins in island Melanesia, maritime Southeast Asia. Now, maritime Southeast Asia, which we looked up, when you actually go into it, it goes back here. This is where it goes back to. It says the 16th century term East Indies and later 19th century term Malay Archipelago are also used to refer to maritime Southeast Asia. Why did they say that? Because Polynesian, okay, it falls under maritime Southeast Asia, which we looked up, but it goes back to Malay Archipelago. Now, when you look up Malay Archipelago, okay, it is the archipelago between mainland Southeast Asia and Australia. It is also called Insul India or Indo-Australia Archipelago. It says the name was taken from the 19th century European concept of Malay race, later based on the distribution of Austronesian. So Austronesian, upon its distribution, goes back to the Malay race of people. Now, why is this important? Because you have something that's called Indian Archipelago. Okay? See here. Let me see if they have it. I'll just type this in, archipelago. All right, so what is an archipelago? An archipelago is an island group or island chain. Okay? It's an island group or island chain, right? Let's see here. It says the word archipelago is derived from the Italian archipelago, used as a proper name for the Aegean Sea. Itself perhaps a deformation of the Greek. Later usage shifted to refer to the Aegean Islands. All right. Now, why is this important? Because now let's go to the scriptures. We're going to go to Genesis, the 10th chapter. And we're going to read about the sons of Japheth. Let me see here. Here we go. Genesis 10:2, the sons of Japheth, Gomer and Magog and Madai and Javan and Tubal and Meshach and Tiras. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz and Rippah and Togarmah. And the sons of Javan, Elisha and Tarshish, Kittim and Dodanim. By these were the isles of the Gentiles, divided in their lands, everyone after his tongue, after their families and their nations. Tongue, languages, right? Now we're going to look up the Hebrew word isles.
Strong's H 339 E.
Now it says here in a outline of biblical usage, a coast, island, shore, or region. Now the seed of Japheth were given the islands, right? Now here's the interesting part of all of this. Let me just find it. Now when you go to the Jacenius Hebrew Chaldee lexicon, and you scroll all the way to the bottom, and it gives you the precepts, Genesis 10:5, Zephaniah 2:11, Ezekiel 27:15. It says, the Indian archipelago is to be understood. What does that mean? The Indian archipelago to be understood, meaning the seed of Japhet, the descendants of Japhet would be in the islands, which includes also the South Pacific. You see? And when we looked up archipelago, it is an island group or island chain. Okay? It also includes the Malay archipelago, which when you go into the Malay archipelago, it goes into the Austronesian, which when you look up Austronesian, it goes into maritime Southeast Asia, mainland Southeast Asia, Madagascar, Pacific Ocean, Taiwan, okay, so forth and so on. You see? So you this is what it means where you have to do your due diligent research. Okay, now let me see if they also have here. There you go right here, subdivisions, Malayo-Polynesian. That's also a part of the Austronesian, which the Austronesian goes back to Malay archipelago, which Malay archipelago goes back to Indian archipelago. It's all tied. Okay, all Austronesian languages spoken outside the Taiwan mainland, including its offshore Yami language, belong to the Malayo-Polynesian. You see? So that's what we mean when we say that the Pacific Islanders, they are not of the seed of Jacob. They are of the seed of Japhet. Right? Now, to back that up, because the leader of GOCC claims that they were pushed, the so-called Polynesian people were pushed out by the Asians. That's incorrect. Let's go to real history. All right, www.com. And then we're going to close out after this. And we're going to look up Etruria, which is Eurasia invasion. All right, now you can see here on the screen. All right, and this is real history that Esau's not going to teach in the schools. Now, does not this look like your modern day Polynesian people today, Fijian people? Because these are the true people that inhabited the lands of Europe, such as Italy, Greece, Kittim, which is Cyprus. Okay, your modern day Polynesians, these were their lands back then. Now, let's have a quick read of this. It says, when last we left Etruria, we were mystified by the Etruscans' policy of not helping each other when faced with a common threat. This incredible policy would, of course, have devastating effects. And moving ahead to perhaps 1100 BC, it is at about this time that albino people, which is the Edomites, from the Eurasian plains, now called the Latins, later known as the Romans. Okay, now, real quick, the Roman Empire, the empire of the Edomite. All right, there it is there. Okay, by William Beeston, the Roman Empire, the empire of the Edomite. That's why they said, oops, Salakia. I'm jumping ahead of the gun. But that's why they said the albino people, now called the Latins, later known as the Romans, migrate in. So Esau came in to Japhet's land, right? And it goes on to say these Latins, Edomites, may have accompanied the Hellenes into Greece. You see, going back to Alexander the Great. All right. It says, and then continued on into Italy. The nature of the early contact between the two peoples is unknown. Yeah, you want to know why it's unknown? Because Esau took out that history. It says, but the later relationship is well known to be one of violence. Okay, so now let's go from there to Micah 2 and 2. You should already know where I'm going with this. Dealing with the Edomites. It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence. Okay, the scripture, the law tells us you're not to remove thy neighbor's landmark. and take them by violence in houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Now let's read the history on what they did to the Polynesian people. It says, but the later relationship is well known to be one of violence. Please remember that we are using the terms Latins and Hellenes in reference to Eurasian albinos as a convenience only, meaning Edomites. Now it says soon after the invasion of whites from Eurasia began, because this is the beginning process of when the Edomites took over Japhet's land. It says a coalition of the original black inhabitants of Italy, okay, the Melanesian people, Greece and Aegean area, because the Aegean area you had the Minoans, which are also what the Polynesian people are a part of, the Minoans, the Ionians, the Etruscans. It says they formed a conglomeration called the Sea People. Are not Polynesian people today known as the Sea People? Let's see if we can confirm that. Hey, call Halayim Yahweh Shemel Shai. Yes, Polynesians are widely recognized as a sea people due to their remarkable maritime skills and history of seafaring, including the ability to navigate and colonize the vast Pacific Ocean. So there you go. We're not making this up. Okay. So these people, the Etruscans, all right, these are your modern day Polynesian people today, the sea people. It says they boarded ships with all of their belongings and fled the area. They boarded ships. Esau kicked them out of their land. That's how they ended up in the islands of the South Pacific coast. That's why we have to look up the word isles of the Gentiles, which means coastal lines, seashores, islands. But see, you camps out there, you're not coming under the tutelage of the apostles of Great Millstone, because we learn from our apostles, man. This is why Great Millstone catches a bad rap, because we're known to bring out the 100% truth. And we can go into secular history and we can confirm all things and link it back to the scriptures. So what did they do? They boarded ships with all of their belongings and fled the area. But those that stayed behind still had to deal with the white newcomers, which were the Edomites, man. All right. And here's some of the terracotta images, all right, of your ancient Polynesians, which they were known back then as the Etruscans and Minoans. And anybody can look up this information. So this is proving that the Polynesians do not come from the seed of Jacob. They are not of the tribe of Naphtali. They are of the seed of Japhet. All right. So, but going back, to this group here. All right. Just want to bring this out that, they have no affiliation of Great Millstone whatsoever. All right. They are not affiliated with us. They are of the GOCC. OK. And as you can see, even though they got all the information in terms of the signage out, they got their, preaching the mark of the beast, which is good. But let me say this. Although and let's bring that out real quick. Let's get Jeremiah 12. All right. We're going to get this real quick. Jeremiah 12:9. It says, mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. So the heritage of Yahweh Shemel Shai is likened unto a speckled bird. That's why we don't judge based upon appearances, right? Let me bring that out too. Let's get that in John. Let me see. Let's get okay, it might be in John. Let's do this here. Salakia, John 7. So John 7 and 20. Yeah, John 7:24 says, judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. So even though they look like Pacific Islanders, they could be Israelites. Because remember, our seed is scattered across the four corners of the earth, man. All right. But to sit there and to say that the Pacific Islanders of the tribe of Naphtali, that's going off. They're not. Now, before I close out, let's get the correct breakdown to that precept in Genesis 49. All right. So Genesis 49:21. Okay. Genesis 49:21. We're going to do this right. It says, Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words. All right. In other words, meaning what? All right. Naphtali today is your Argentinian and Chileans today, man. Okay. They are a nomadic people. Now, when you jump to Deuteronomy, all right, the 33rd chapter going into the blessings. All right. Let's see here. Deuteronomy 23. It says, and of Naphtali, he said, O Naphtali, satisfied with favor and full with the blessing of Yahweh, possess thou the west and the south. Now, when you look up, all right, the west, let's see here. When you look up the west and south of South America map. All right. And let's just get one for good measure. Possess thou the west and the south. Okay. The west, as you see here, the west and the south, Argentina and Chile. Okay. Because remember, we proved earlier that the Northern Kingdom, they left the Assyrian Empire and they came over to the Americas, Arsareth, which means another land. So they possess Chile and Argentina. That's how we know that the natives, all right, of these countries are of the tribe of Naphtali. They were a nomadic people. They like to move around a lot. Okay. And when it talks about he spoke goodly words, it's because the natives, they spoke peaceably to the Spaniards when the Spaniards came and invaded. You see? That's what it's talking about. Right. But then what did the Spaniards do? What did the Edomites do? Like they did the other Northern Kingdom tribes? They slaughtered them, man. Straight up slaughtered them. You see? That's all it's talking about. It's not referring to the Pacific Islands. It's referring to the west and the south of South America. Right? Then you got, when you deal with Joseph, Ephraim, okay, which is modern day Puerto Ricans. All right. Then you got Manasseh. All right. Cubans. Okay. When you go into that, then you got Asher. Okay. Which is your modern day Colombians and Uruguayans. Right. You got Gad, Native Americans. Okay. Zebulon. Okay. Which is your Guatemalans. Okay. And your Panamanians. All right. Which is right up here. Okay. That's the understanding of it, man. So, beware of this group because they under GOCC. Okay. And that's going off because you're not supposed to have. All right. Remember, we're in a spiritual battle. You're not supposed to have your women and children out there, man. Because remember, persecution is coming. And Esau is infiltrating a lot of camps right now, man. As the apostles always say, hey, we got infiltration amongst GMS. And another red flag is to show you that this is all orchestrated because once again, where they are preaching at Flinders Street Station, if I was to go down there And this is the reason why I don't go down there, because just like what happened with David Flynn, I too would have got arrested. So in order for them to have out signage like that, and the police station is actually right next door to this joint, man, you have to have some sort of special permit, which I believe now, come to think of it, they're under a 501c3 here, man. So they have to be protected in order to have this space to be able to even bring this out, man. You see? That's pretty much it on that. I just wanted to bring this out. Beware of this group, Gathering of Christ Church South Pacific. They are not of GMS, okay? They are not of GMS, all right? So I'm going to close out with that. I pray that this lesson was edifying, and I want to give all praise, glory, and honor be to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, better known as GMS, who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect, the tabernacle of David, and it's on to the next, Lord's will. Shalom.